I am Gabriel Amorth, and what I am about to tell you is neither a legend nor a story meant to scare children. This is the truth that happened in 1994 in one of Italy's small villages. And even now, when I close my eyes, I can still hear the screams of that night. His name was Valerio Cosu, a young man of 24 with eyes that were no longer human. His family came to me, not out of faith, but out of desperation. They said that in recent months, he had changed in ways no doctor or psychiatrist could explain. Voices came out of his mouth, in languages he had never learned. When I first saw him, he was sitting in the corner of the room, his body hunched, his head swaying from side to side, and a crooked smile on his face. I knew right then we were not facing an ordinary human being. On the day of the ritual, the air in the village was heavy. We cleared the small local church, closed the windows, and hung crucifixes on the walls. 3 other priests and 2 nuns stood with me. His family waited behind the door, crying. When he entered, we bound his hands and feet with leather straps so he wouldn't harm himself or others. But even restrained, his body trembled and jerked, as if an uncontainable force was surging inside him. I began with the opening prayer. In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Suddenly, the silence shattered. Valerio laughed with a voice I cannot describe, a voice both male and female, and something beyond human. Then, looking straight into my eyes, he said,
Amorth, you finally came. You are late. He is already mine.
A chill ran down my spine. I raised my voice and continued the exorcism prayer, but he began to mimic me, reciting the same prayer backward. The smell of sulfur filled the air. One of the nuns stepped back, but I fixed my eyes on her and made her stay. Then Valerio suddenly lifted his head and said,
Do you know how many times he prayed to die? And each time, I woke him up.
The blood in my veins froze. His body began to bounce violently, the leather straps stretching to the point of tearing. 3 men struggled to hold him down. Then came the sound of something breaking. He had slammed his teeth together, and his gums were bleeding. I pushed the crucifix forward and shouted, By the power of Christ, I command you to leave him. He let out a roar so loud the church's windows rattled. Blood poured from his nose and mouth, and a layered whispering filled everyone's ears. The priest beside me whispered in terror, That's the voice of several people. But I knew it was one voice, his. The demon inside him tried to bargain with me. It said that if I stopped, it would keep Valerio alive. But I knew this kind of life was nothing but an eternal prison. At the height of the prayer, his eyes suddenly turned blacker than the night. With a muffled voice, he said,
He accepted me, Amorth. You are already too late.
For a moment, my heart sank, but I pressed on. Hours passed. Screams, laughter, whispers, and deadly silences. Every time I thought he was weakening, he came back with renewed strength. Finally, when the morning sun entered through the broken window, Valerio cried with the voice of a child and said, "Mother, and then collapsed unconscious. When he woke up, he no longer had that empty stare. But I knew this was not the end. The entity had left, or perhaps only retreated. Weeks later, I heard that Valerio was hearing the voices again. I never saw him again. But still, on sleepless nights, I hear that layered laughter echoing in my ears. This is the truth I share with you. Not to frighten, but to remind you that darkness is always waiting. This is Mystery Tales. The next adventures are even scarier than this. Are you ready? Don't forget to subscribe